Hello everyone. Super excited to be with you for today's Daily Dose of Awesome. As you are hopping on, go ahead and drop where it is you're coming in from so I can give you a shout out. You guys, today we're going to be talking about how to really develop into a professional connector so that we can grow an audience of raving fans, okay? So again, as you're hopping on, drop me where it is you're coming in from so we can have some interaction on today's Daily Dose of Awesome so I can give you a shout out as well. Okay, so you guys, have you ever had a hard time connecting with people? Have you ever had struggles really developing a quick quality relationship with somebody, especially online? Hey, Olive, Courtney, thanks for hopping on. Valentine, great to have you here as well. Okay, so I wanted to have a conversation about this today because what really is a connector? What would be the purpose of developing the skill set of being a connector for your business? What impact might it have on your business? Okay, so again, as you're hopping on, drop me where it is you're coming in from. Also, give me some feedback here. Make sure that we are all great. It looks like the comments are coming in great, so awesome. Annalie, great to have you here. Tim, good to have you here as well. Okay, so what is a connector? Simply put, a connector is somebody who is really great at making relationships and connecting with people online. And they develop like friends and acquaintances everywhere you go. Think about somebody that you've met before where it's like they just have this huge group of people that they know. They're constantly bumping into people that they know, right? You can't go somewhere with that person without having them, have a conversation with somebody that they have run into before and that they've, had a conversation with, they've kept in touch for years, okay? So these people have developed the skill of being professional connectors, okay? They connect with everyone that they meet. Hey, Katrina, great to have you on, okay? So how come is it important to develop this skill? It is important to know how to develop quality relationships online because we constantly need to be growing our audience. We always need to be connecting with people. We always need to be making friendships and those types of things to grow our audience and grow our network, okay? We are in network marketing, right? That's a very core component of what it is that we do for our business. So being able to really connect with people and build authentic quality relationships is essential for the stability and the growth of our business. Okay, so I wanted to share with you 5 tips and 5 ways. Hey, Emery, thanks for hopping on, that you can really maximize the influence and the impact that you have on somebody as you're meeting them, as you're having conversations and connecting with people, okay? Number 1, you guys, is to have excitement, enthusiasm whenever you are talking to somebody, okay? I want you to start thinking in your mind, how have you felt when you have had a conversation with somebody when they are super excited to talk to you? Okay, when they have made eye contact with you, maybe it's on a Zoom, maybe it's face-to-face, okay? But you have this connection with this person and they genuinely come across like they're really interested in what you have to say, okay? How does that make you feel? Good to have you here, Chuck. Thanks for hopping on, okay? How did it make you feel? Drop in the comments, what were you feeling when you had that type of interaction with somebody, when you're having a conversation with them and they genuinely were enthusiastic to be talking to you? How did it affect you? How did it make you feel on the inside? Hey, Shayla, good to have you on, okay? Because when you have a level of enthusiasm when you're talking to somebody, okay, it helps solidify the importance that the other person feels, okay? They feel special. They feel important, okay? They feel like, oh my gosh, this person gets me and they genuinely want to hear what I have to say, okay? And it's important to have that level of enthusiasm and excitement when you're talking to somebody because people remember how you made them feel, not necessarily what it is that you said. Okay, so developing that ability to have enthusiasm and excitement when you're talking to people is hugely important. And here's a tip, you guys. We are going to always run across people that maybe it's a little bit harder to be excited or enthusiastic to talk to somebody, okay? Whether that be because of a history that we've had with that person, or maybe it's just a personality clash, okay? There are going to be those times where we come across people who are like, oh, this is a hard one for me to be excited to talk to, for whatever reason. And so a really big tip to share with you guys on that is if you can truly be curious about people and start practicing curiosity, okay, it is amazing how much easier it is to truly be curious and enthusiastic to talk to somebody if you're truly curious about what's going on in their world. If you truly care enough to figure out, okay, what's going on for this person and being present with that curiosity, it's a lot easier to really have that enthusiasm and excitement to talk to people, especially even the most difficult of people. Okay, so you guys practice being curious about people. Hey Shayla, great to have you on. Vitalis, great to have you here as well. Okay, and with this as well though, the enthusiasm and the excitement, got to be very careful that it's not fake. Okay, people can see through that a mile away. Doesn't matter if it's text message, doesn't matter if it's an audio message, doesn't matter if it's a Zoom. Okay, if you're not really truly being genuine with your enthusiasm and your excitement to talk to somebody, it comes across terrible. Okay, it is so inauthentic, and it can actually burn a lot of bridges for you, because now your future conversations with that person are going to be tainted with they're just being, nice to be nice. Okay, it has that level of inauthenticity. So really be careful about overdoing your enthusiasm and excitement. Make sure it's coming from a place of authenticity, that you're truly curious about what's going on for that person. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Be enthusiastic, okay, and excited when you're connecting with people. Be genuine with it. Okay, number 2, you guys, is to set reasonable boundaries. And this is something that happens a lot for us entrepreneurs, right? How many of you out there have ever felt overwhelmed and felt like you have so many things on your plate that you can't even breathe right now? Okay, if that is you, drop me one in the comments if you've ever felt that way. Okay, because it's very easy for us to get sucked into overwhelm. We have these lists of things that we need to do. We've got our DMO that we've got to get through. We have all these different pieces. And so it's very easy to get sucked into that overwhelm. But this is where setting reasonable boundaries, and I say reasonable boundaries, is going to be hugely important for you, because when you're stretched thin, you're not investing as much time in the conversations and the relationships that you're having, because you're constantly thinking about, okay, I've got to do this after I talk to this person, and I've got these other things that I need to do. Okay, hey Ed, thanks for hopping on. Okay, so you're not investing as much in these relationships because you're constantly thinking about the next thing. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed, if you've ever felt that way when you're talking to somebody and you're like thinking, okay, after I talk to this person, I've got to talk to so-and-so. I've got 4 other people that I'm having messages with right now. Okay. Start thinking about how you might rearrange your time or set different boundaries for yourself. Okay. So this comes into play when you've set aside time for working, when you've set a time aside for maybe going through and connecting with people on your social media. When you're working, you're working. When you're playing, you're playing. And when you're relaxing, okay? And this allows you to really focus and be present with the people that you're with in the moment, okay? Focusing on the person right in front of you, okay? You don't have to worry about all these other people when you're talking to the one person that you're having a conversation with. Be present with them, okay? And setting reasonable boundaries with, your timing again, when it's time to work, you're working. When it's time to relax, you're relaxing, you're unplugging, you're being present in those moments. It helps you balance out the overwhelm so that you know that when you're doing that specific task, when you're doing those things, or making those connections and those relationships, that is what you're doing, okay? And it allows you to be more present, and so that you can really help that other person feel like you're excited to talk to them, okay? These all kind of mesh together. Setting boundaries so that you are doing the one thing that you're doing at that moment and not thinking about 5 other people that you need to talk to is going to really help fuel the excitement and enthusiasm that you have connecting with that person that you're talking to, okay? Those relationships that you're building. So setting boundaries so that you know when you're working, you know when you're relaxing, you know when you're playing, you know that when you're having a conversation with somebody, that is what you're doing. If you're on a Zoom call with a prospect, that is what you're doing, is that Zoom call with a prospect, not answering text messages while you're on the call, okay? And setting the expectations with your teammates, maybe, that during this time, these are my office hours. This is when I can answer questions from you, and these are the times that I'm doing other tasks, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Again, setting those boundaries and the expectations, not only of yourself, but also of your teammates, okay? Number 3, you guys, is looking for ways to help others. How often are we so focused in on what we need to accomplish so that we can rank advance, so we can get our daily mode of operations done, so we can get the volume coming through our business that we need to? How often are you actually asking yourself, how can I help somebody else today? Okay, and I want you to think about that for a second. How often have you asked yourself, how can I help somebody else today? Is that something that even goes through your mind? Okay, I'm curious. Drop in the comments if that is something that you even think about. A lot of times we can get bogged down, head down into what we need to do to move our business, that we start forgetting about what it is we're truly doing and how we can actually serve other people. Okay, and so start thinking, how can I serve people on my page? How can I serve people on my personal page? How can I serve people on my fan page? How can I serve my teammates? How can I serve my family? Because coming from a attitude of gratitude and service and thinking about how can I help somebody else today, it really translates into everything that we're doing, and it becomes much easier to find those moments when we can really help somebody else. Maybe it's listening extra. Maybe it's hopping on a quick Zoom chat to walk them through a little thing, okay? All of these pieces, focusing on how we can help other people, impact, again, how they feel about us, how we feel about them, and the relationship that we are developing with these people. Hey, Sharon, thanks for hopping on. Okay? Because think about this, you guys. If you're constantly focused on yourself, you're going to end up by yourself. Okay? People don't want to be around self-serving people. That is not something that is attractive. Okay? They don't want to be around those kind of people. So if you're looking at building and developing quality relationships, focusing on how you can help other people is a very, very big piece of that. And so start asking yourself, how can I serve others? Maybe it's just once a day. You take a time frame and you ask yourself, how can I help somebody right now? I've got 15 minutes, I've got 20 minutes. Who can I serve and how can I serve them? And then go out and do it. Okay? So ask yourself, am I being of service to myself or am I being of service to others? And as you start going through that process of asking those questions, write down, okay, where are you at and who can you help? Send somebody a message. Check in with somebody, okay? What can I help you with today? Very simple to reach out to people and get that information, that feedback, and be service oriented, okay? Instead of just worrying about serving yourself and what it is you need to get done, your agenda for the day, okay? And so number 4, you guys, is attitude. Again, these 5 things bleed together, okay? Your attitude, you guys, you get to choose how you show up. You get to choose if you're going to have a positive attitude. You get to choose if you're going to have a negative attitude. You get to choose by your beliefs and your actions how you are going to show up to people. Are you finding negative things and dwelling on them? Okay? Are you complaining constantly to your upline? Are you complaining constantly to your downline? Are you focused on the negative things or not going right in your business? Or are you looking for those silver linings, the little wins, those positive moments of triumph, right? Got a post out there and somebody liked it. That is a triumph. That is a win. That's something positive. Instead of saying, I get absolutely no interaction on my page. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay. We get to choose our attitude and how we choose to view the behaviors and the things that are happening in our business. Okay. Nobody wants to be around a negative Nelly. That is not attractive. Okay. So start asking yourself, how can I focus on the positive? What little things, what evaluations might I do to find what's working and focus on those things, okay? We've got to be real, okay? We've got to be reasonable about the things that we need to change, but we can definitely put our energy into focusing on what's going, effective in our business, and the things that are not, what might I do differently, okay? What little thing might I switch right now to get through this and move forward? And it's really important to understand also, think about how people gravitate to other people. They want to be around those that are working not only to build other people up, okay, service, we've talked about it before, excitement and all those pieces that we have to connect with other people, but they want to be around others that are working not only build other people up, not backbiting and talking negative about teammates, okay, not talking bad about the company, okay. They want to be around people that are building other people up because they built themselves up in the process. Okay, it's a win-win when you're focusing on those positive things instead of the negative things, okay? So check your attitude, okay? What are you focused in on? And maybe if you're a little bit more negative, what might you do to start looking for those gold and silver linings things, okay? The things that you can do that are going to help you have a positive attitude about whatever challenges may come up, okay? There's always something positive to be found. Number 5, you guys, is influence, okay? Think about this, and I'm curious who has had the biggest positive influence for you in your life. Go ahead and drop it in the comments. Who is it that has had a huge positive influence in your life? Okay? Think about them. I want you to put in the comments. So who are some people that have made a very large impact in your life? And then start thinking about what characteristics do they have that I could adopt, and start leading by their example, right? Living by their example. And then ask yourself this question. So hopefully comments are actually not working right now, so I'll have to go back through. Hey, Sean, great to have you on. So how did they get on your list? Okay, what characteristics and qualities and the positive impact that they've had on you, how did you get on their list? And then ask yourself, whose list am I on? Okay, again, start thinking about this. How have you been behaving? How have you been showing up? What have you been doing? Whose list have you been put on? And who are you positively impacting? And if you start thinking about, okay, these are the people's list that I might be on, and maybe you're finding that you're on a lot of lists, which is awesome, but maybe you're not on as many lists as you'd like to be. So what might you do differently? What behaviors might you change? Might you be more service-minded? Might you be a bit more positive? Might you be a bit more enthusiastic and present with people? Okay, what behaviors and things might you start changing? Okay, modeling of these people who've made a very huge positive impact in your life. How might you model those so that you can also start impacting other people? Okay, because influence, you guys, is at the core of network marketing, and it is at the core of relationships. Okay, if you have a level of positive influence in somebody's life, how many doors does that open? Okay, start thinking about that. If you have any level of positive influence in someone's life, if you've developed any level of know, like, and trust with that person, then you have a higher quality relationship with them because of that, because you have positively impacted them in some way. And by having positive interactions and positive impact in people's lives, what might happen in your business? Maybe you're going to have more enrollments, maybe more customers, okay? Maybe just going to have higher quality relationships with people that you really truly enjoy being with, okay? Influence is key, and you build influence by, again, going through the prior principles that we talked about, okay? The tips that I gave you already, they all fuel the influence that you have. How much service are you providing to people? How intentional are you with spending time with them? How are you helping them? Okay? Are you excited to connect with them? Right? All of these things work together to culminate into influence, a positive influence in somebody's life. And remember, as you're building your business, we need to constantly be building our network. We need to be developing friendships and relationships with people. It's important to constantly have that growth of your audience. And by following these 5 tips, you guys are going to be able to develop a reputation and a brand that others are going to want to follow. They're going to want to be near you. They want to interact with you and have relationships with you because of the type of person that you are and how you're showing up for them, okay? That is how you develop the know, like, and trust. And following these 5 tips actually help you create a more lasting and quality relationship with people so that you can truly meet somebody on Zoom for the first time and develop a relationship with them so that when you meet them in person, you feel like you've known them forever, okay? That's what this business is about. It's about growing an audience, growing influence, growing relationships so that you can live the best life that you can, doing the things that you love with those that you love, okay? So remember, everything that we do in life impacts others, and it is the foundation for where you are today. Start thinking about how you're showing up, how you're relating with people, and what might you do a little bit differently, because you get to choose who's on your right, you get to choose who's on your left, and you get to choose how you treat them. So start treating them the way you would want to be treated. Treat them well so that you can become a professional connector, grow your audience and your friendship and your relationships to the magnitude that is going to help satisfy what it is you want to create in your life, okay? So you guys, I appreciate you being on today for this daily dose of awesome. Barbara, great to have you here. Eileen, had a couple other people pop on. I apologize, my comments are not working, so I'll go back through and interact with you guys and give you some responses to your feedback. I appreciate you being with me today for today's daily dose of awesome. If you found value, go ahead and drop it in the comments and let me know. And don't forget to join us tomorrow for tomorrow's Daily Dose of Awesome. Again, we're here Monday through Friday at 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Take care, everyone.